A to B versus the loopy shot. Vieira got the A to B. She got the win. Miesha Tate didn't want to really engage in the grappling that much. She tried a couple of shots, but she didn't really force the action, which is where I thought she could have forced the action. But for KETLEN VIEIRA, my man, cashed on the over, right? And on the Brady Kessler fight, we cashed on the over. You cashed on the over. I didn't cash on the under on this one. But, my man, let me elaborate a little bit on what I was saying earlier. Miesha Tate, man. Is she right now? She got the win over Marion Renault and somehow, some way got up to number 8 in the division. I truly believe this was because of her past accomplishments as opposed to what a win against a 40-plus-year-old Marion Renault should necessarily get you. But either way, let's just talk about it. Come round 3, round 4, were you like, okay, Vieira's running away with this fight? Because I saw people saying 3-1 Miesha Tate going into round 4. And I was like, are you fucking crazy? Like, you could have argued Vieira won all 5 rounds. Like, there's an argument to be made there, right? It's not the strongest of arguments, but if you think about who was landing the more impactful shot, it was Vieira from round 1 to round 5. Who was pushing the pace? Yeah, Tate was, but she was getting cracked on the back foot. Her face was bloodied up at the end of the fight. I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel a little bit bamboozled because Vieira is the real deal. We already knew that. But Miesha Tate, she's no slouch, man. Stand up, look good. I don't know really what to take away from this fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I had it 3-1 going into the 5th for Vieira, man. I think just the fact that you have your foot on the gas pedal and pushing forward, but getting cracked, you're basically a walking punching bag, man. It's not a good look for you. If you have your foot on the gas pedal and you're slipping those punches and getting in and controlling the pace and the distance, yeah, that's a whole different story. To me, this one, man, Miesha Tate just looked undersized. She looked like she was a weight class down. KETLEN VIEIRA was the big bully on the block, beating up Miesha Tate. Even though Miesha Tate was trying to take it to the bully, she was still getting pieced up, and the power differential was just way too drastic to see. I mean, not much to take away. Miesha Tate has this weird, like, wide. You can't really see my arms right now. She's just like wide, yeah, down one way, hand up. Didn't really make sense to me whenever she would throw that hand out and the right of KETLEN VIEIRA would just come over the top and crack her in the face. It was a very interesting approach that she had going forward. Maybe it was just kind of confused because that's what it did to me. It confused me. Like if I was seeing that, I'd be like, why is your hands out there, man? I'm just gonna throw like straight shots down the pipe. You're not gonna be able to block them. Like that's exactly what we saw happening. It was very interesting to see. I was also curious as to why. And it could have just been because KETLEN VIEIRA's ground game was so good that Miesha Tate wasn't able to get the hands locked, wasn't able to get the takedowns. And I think she did, and it was either round 1 or round 2. But KETLEN VIEIRA just stood up instantly. Oh, yeah. Basically, the power was insane from KETLEN VIEIRA. So not really much, I mean, besides the fact that KETLEN VIEIRA is the real deal coming forward. And I think we overhyped Miesha Tate a little bit. I got fooled by this one. I picked Tate. And it was a show by Vieira, man. There's no way that it was 3-1 going into the 5th for Tate. If you're a blind rat over there, there's no way.
Yeah, man. I'll just say this is what I said in the pre-show. I said that Miesha Tate, she was able to be the bigger fighter against Marion Renault, but this time around, Vieira has the reach and the height and the frame. So that's what in the pre-show, that was what led me to kind of pick Vieira because I'm like, all right, well, let's see how Tate can handle one of these bigger opponents, not just someone small who's kind of running away the whole fight. And no disrespect, man, because I'm a big fan of the Belizean bruiser. But Marion Renault, we said there's one thing she needs to do to win the fight, and that's move forward, not run backward the whole fight, and that's what she did. For Vieira, I think one of the reasons why Tate wasn't able to kind of initiate the grappling as much too is because one combination was landing all day for Vieira, and it was the uppercut left hook combo. And if you know, if I'm shooting in, I'm either getting hit with an uppercut or a knee. We should probably not go this route. I think that kind of lent to it a little bit. Either way, man, it was kind of rinse, wash, repeat, round 1 to round 5. And when Tate did get the takedown on Vieira, she basically dog walked over to the cage, used the cage to help her get up. And the ground games were pretty equal for both of these fighters. It really came down to who won the boxing, and that was KETLEN VIEIRA. All day long, man. So big unanimous decision win. She's 6-2 in the UFC. 50% of her wins have come by decision, man. The other 50% are all via stoppage, man. So people have been saying it's a matter of her living up to her potential, man. That's why she's being judged so harshly. It's because people know how good Vieira is. And listen, this thwarts the title hopes of Miesha Tate. So last thing on this one, AJ, do you see Miesha Tate contending for a title ever again in the rest of her career?
Maybe not in this division, but the one underneath, I forget what they're fighting at. I think it's 135, right? Yeah. So if they fight at 125, maybe she's a little faster. But yeah, I mean, it's hard, man. With these young guns coming up, I really don't see it as much as disheartening as that is for a fighter to say you probably can't be the champ ever again. She has distance in the UFC still, but I don't really see it.
This just reminds me of the Ben Rothwell fight against Rogerio de Lima, man. He said, he's like, I need to win every single fight from here on out to get to that championship. Well, he lost and sends you right back to the back of the queue. So unless she makes another run, I don't know. This might just have been more of a novelty type situation. Because MIESHA Tate also said, she said it before the fight. She's like, I only got maybe like 2-3 years left in this sport at all. So, you know, leave that for what it's worth. All right, folks, that is the main card recap. We hit you over-unders, money lines. We gave you everything you need, so drop a like, subscribe. We appreciate you. You know what time it is. And